All right, so here's a passage from Leviticus 19:5 through 7, that is an example of how this makes sense to me. When you slaughter a feast peace offering to Hashem, you shall slaughter it to find favor for yourselves. So, remember that Hashem is Buddha, nature or self-nature. And what is the feast peace offering that we slaughter? Well, to me, that's this always increasing space we develop from our thoughts, so that we're not held captive by these things we think called thoughts, that we can just simply enjoy ourselves. And that's what we do when we find favor for ourselves. We bring this peace offering to ourselves, and we find favor with ourselves. We find peace in life, and we become just a little bit happier by this process of gaining distance from our thought life. And then this goes on to say, on the day of your slaughter shall it be eaten, and on the next day, and whatever remains until the third day shall be burned in fire. So what this is saying is, you have 2 days to eat from this sacrifice, and on the third day it's no good anymore. You got to burn it up, and it shall not be accepted by Hashem anymore. So to me, this is all about living in the moment. You have 2 days to live in the moment, and this is not literal, it's just numbers. 2 days to live in the moment, third day is no good. So consider that you have a moment of time that you live in, that we live in, and we experience that moment. And then we start living the glory days. So we have a memory of a moment, and we process this memory through our thought life. So it really essentially becomes an illusion. It's a memory of a real moment, and it's no longer real. So to me, this is all about this Zen Buddhist practice of living in the moment every single moment. That's something I get out of it. Something I don't get out of this is, say, texts about circumcision. You know, I know that circumcision made sense in these days because it was essentially a dumbing down of greater local area practices that were much bloodier, up to and including gratuitous human sacrifice. So circumcision in these days was actually sensible and merciful. But this is the 21st century, so why do we need this barbaric practice anymore? So I get too hung up reading passages dealing with circumcision or anything derivative of it to get anything out of it. So it's not like this is a fully integrated process. And I don't try and strain or force anything. That's really important too. I'm not sitting here going, churning my gears, trying to make it work, fit into some mold. I just read it to the best of my ability, and if it speaks to me and something jumps out, then I let that happen. But it's a very important part of this process is to not try and force anything. So maybe that makes it make a little bit of sense.